some things that have been come to light is just how much I've been affected by one country. Can you guess what it is? Those are all really good guesses. No, actually, the country that's influenced me the most in my life is Canada. Canadian media has been the one thing that's accidentally come into my life for a long time, and I thought I'd share with you guys some of those things. First off, when I was about 10, my great aunt died, something like that, and we spent a whole summer just going through like all her ornament collections and such. One of her collections include 3 Cirque du Soleil VCRs of Kidam, Saltimbanco, and La Nouvelle Experience. So I spent a lot of my childhood watching those 3 VCRs, specifically Kidam. I love Kidam, still to this day is my favorite show. And actually in about like 2005 or so, we went to Disney World and I got to see La Nouvelle live. So now, fast forward to about 2010 or so, I became really obsessed with Cirque du Soleil. In this 2010 period, I accumulated 21 Cirque du Soleil DVDs, including the ones from Soulstrom and Fire Within, which are TV series. I have 10 Cirque du Soleil CDs, as well as like 2 or more individual songs from Journey of Man and Chris Angel. I also have a book called The Spark, and I also have a big book of the 20-year anniversary of Cirque du Soleil. And finally, we have this shirt. I actually went to go see Kidam on my 17th birthday, and it was great. I also saw OVO. I think I saw OVO before Kidam. When I was little, we used to have this semi-New Year's tradition where we would watch the mini TV series Anne of Green Gables. We watched it recently, and my sister and I were able to quote certain parts of it still, and we remembered certain scenes. And watching it again as an adult, I really appreciated the story, costuming, just everything. And of course, the Winter Olympics were held in Vancouver. I wasn't quite influenced by the Olympics, but I do remember watching the Olympics. That's the only Winter Olympics I actually have memories of, specifically ice skating and bobsledding. I think it's called bobsledding. In July of 2012, I was introduced to the band Mariana's Trench. We were working at my church's garage sale, and my friend was just playing music on her phone, and she's like, this next one came up, and it was Celebrity Status. Funny story, I couldn't remember the name Celebrity Status for almost 2 months. I actually called it the Step 1, Step 2, Step 3 repeat song. And I also thought Mike Ailey was a Muppet. When we went to church camp later in the summer, I told another one of my friends about it, and she said, oh, I really like Beside You by them. So I started listening to that. By the second week of school, I was completely obsessed with Mariana's Trench, and to this day, I still am a fan of Mariana's Trench. If you're wondering what merch I have, I own all of their albums, 3 of them physically, the 4th one digitally. I have 3 shirts. I have one from the concert I went to in 2013. I also have the shirt Face the Music. I also have the Trencher lyric shirt from the concert I went to in January. I have a necklace from the Ever After video that Porcelain wears. I also went to the VIP event, so I have the VIP pass, and somewhere I have my ticket. I also got picked on by Matt Webb when he threw his guitar pick at me. Cue video. Something I can't find is the Face the Music poster I got when I went to the 2013 concert. Also in 2012, my family started watching the show called Heartland. We got really into it. So one of the funny things that kept happening to me over senior year was just how much Canadian media kept coming into my life, especially after finding Mariana's Trench. One of the funny things is in the fall, our first required reading for my English class was Family Matters by Rohinton Mistry. In the spring of 2013, a poem became very popular, which was to this day by Shane Kohasan. In 2009, a film called Avatar came out. Not the Airbender, but the Blue Monkeys. And I became really obsessed with it. And because of my obsession, I got 2 books over it. One, The Making of Avatar. I don't know where the actual book is, sorry guys, but I do own it somewhere. I do own it, and it's somewhere is what I meant to say. And also, I received this book. So in 2013, I became really obsessed with the movie Titanic. I had never seen it up to that point. Kindlin, why bring up James Cameron so much? Because he's Canadian. Fancy that. Spring of 2013, my friend and I were in the car and she decided to show me some songs that she's been listening to. One of the songs was Take Me As I Am by FM Static, who are Canadian, and I think are also signed with 604 Records. Fancy that. Through FM Static, I did find 1000 Foot Clutch, but I only really like one song, which is The End Is Where We Begin. In the fall semester of 2014, I discovered the show Lost Girl, which is about a succubus. Then I watched a show called Bitten, which I still need to catch up on. Also, my family and I got into a show called Property Brothers. In 2015, I really got into a show called Orphan Black, and as most of you guys know, that is a British-Canadian show shown on BBC. In 2015, I started working at a call center that I'm going to call Kingdom Ranch, and at Kingdom Ranch, you're not allowed to take Canadian calls, so if a customer who is Canadian calls in, I have to transfer them elsewhere. But if an American is in Canada, I can take the call. Also, when working at Kingdom Ranch, I had 2 to 4 Canadian calls that I had to transfer, one of them being a guy asking where I was from as he couldn't place my accent. Something that would come up in my conversations with friends was just how I would find these Canadian things. I didn't go looking for them. I didn't put in a search engine Canadian music or Canadian actors or poems. They just showed up. So a couple weeks ago, based on Amazing Phil's video of him taking quizzes about himself on Reddit, I decided to take some dumb quizzes on Reddit. One of them being, who would your YouTuber boyfriend be? And I got Matt Gifford. And then I realized at that point, wow, I really don't watch a lot of Canadian YouTubers. So for the first time, I decided to search for some. I eventually got to Nerdy and Quirky, and then I started watching ASAP Science, and I got really caught up in their parodies and their music, and through them I got to Acapella Science. I also decided to tweet Acapella Science. Like with most YouTubers, I am always looking for editing tips, just tips in general, and I asked him about green screen, and he actually answered back, which I am extremely grateful for because that's not something you get a lot. So thank you, Tim Blaze, for responding to me. About a week ago, I ended up not having work on Sunday, so I decided to look up Vancouver. The idea of traveling has come into my head, and the city of Vancouver kept coming in my head as well, so I decided, why not? Let's look up Vancouver. And I wanted to use a site that wasn't like Wikipedia or something. So the first site I saw was a site called Hello BC. Oh my gosh, are they helpful. They are the best provincial website I've seen so far. Most of the websites I've seen, they go straight into tourism, like this is what you do, this is where you go. And as someone who doesn't travel a lot anymore, I don't know how that works. And it's really overwhelming for me to like try to find things to do when I just really want to know about the province. And also, in that regard, if you're not looking at the tourism sites for the provinces, you're looking at the government site. I call the site Hello BC, but I think their official name is Destination BC, as that is their Instagram and Twitter official name, but their username is Hello BC. So if I keep getting that wrong, I'm so sorry. Correct me in the comments. So one of the cool things about Destination BC is they don't just start off with things to do in the BC area. They have this whole like 8-section piece just about the province itself. This is my favorite part of this website actually. In the About BC section you have the overview, the accessibility, beyond BC's borders, which they talk about what that province borders and the pros of it. It's so great. The climate and weather, that's awesome. I love that they include their climate and weather, all the geographic regions in that province. That was great to see. The culture and history, that was amazing. I loved that I could learn about the province before getting into the actual tourism bits. Geography, which was great. I get to learn all the regions about it, a brief overview of the regions. Key travel info and visitor centers. This is amazing to me because even before we've gotten into where to go, where to sleep, where to eat, I've gotten this nice overview of the province itself, and I can actually get familiar with it. And that's what I'm really interested in, the culture and the history, why I should visit this province more than what I can do there. And then they give you a small overview of the cities in BC, which are Vancouver, Victoria, Richmond, Kelowna, and Whistler. And I'm so sorry that I mispronounced 2 of those names. After places to go, they have a tab for things to do, trip idea, transportation, maps, and accommodations. Again, this site is so very helpful to me and for any beginner traveler because it's nowhere near as overwhelming as come do this, come do that, experience our culture. But seriously, check out their website. Link is in the description. Go experience BC. Like, it's amazing. Whoops. I skipped one. I knew I skipped one. Okay, so I'm in a class called Reader's Theater. Reader's Theater is basically theater stripped down to its basics, which is people, maybe costumes, and scripts. That's about it. We've been rehearsing a play called The List by Jennifer Tremblay, who is a playwright from Quebec. And we'll be performing it on a date that I will release later on. So there you have it. What countries have influenced your life? Or do you notice how many Canadian things are in your life? Leave a comment below. Let me know. Also, check out Destination BC. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye! And it takes a while, and then it kind of looks like this, with my chin just hanging, fluffing about. That was fun. Finally, she gets all of it flushed to my face, and once it's completely on my face, my left eye is gone, and the corner of my mouth is gone too. Some of those collections, some of those, I don't know why I keep stopping.